Hello and welcome to Onesies, a podcast of one-season wonders and blunders. My name's Andrew.
My name is Emily.
And we are back talking about When Things Were Rotten, a 1975 ABC, but of course, sitcom.
Oh boy. Oh boy, is it sitcom-y this episode.
Oh, it is. Episode 5, The Ransom,
Ransom for Richard.
Ransom for Richard.
Something like that. I don't have it right in front of me, but pretty close.
And it is about King Richard in Austria being ransomed, and the sheriff and Ron Rifkin need to get the money from the peasants, which is weird.
That's just how they do things.
I mean, hey, you know what? That's how we do things now. So
taxes, right?
Taxes, right? Who pays taxes?
Only poor people.
Poor people. So moving on to shit. What is happening? The ransom, they're getting it from the peasants who will only trust Robin Hood to watch it. And so the sheriff concocts a plan to frame Robin Hood for stealing the money, and they'll get rid of Robin Hood, plus they'll get an extra 20 grand from the peasants, and
King Richard will die, and Prince John will take over.
And that is the idea. And it is a really very bland sitcom. We get some of the personality of the earlier episodes with Alan talking to
Alan and Dale. I really liked. He's the best part of this episode, unfortunately, and he's not even like doing anything extraordinary.
Is he better than Ron Rifkin?
Yes,
playing a jackass. You think so? Okay.
Yeah, I think. Well, I've got opinions coming out my asshole about that. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
you're not going to see it on camera. Sorry. I know you got excited.
Well, this is certainly a way to start talking about this show, because there's nothing to really talk about. Did you recognize the guest star?
I didn't.
Okay. So I did, because he's in a bunch of shit. Emily didn't recognize him.
No.
So the episode begins with, it starts with the castle, right? And it starts with the ransom. There's this bit where
there's really quickly, there's an establishing shot of the castle, which I thought was very sitcom-y. It starts out very sitcom-y.
I think I would prefer it if it were more in that direction, honestly. I don't think it would be better, but I think it would be more passable. However, and I just want to get this out of the way, I do think that at least I sat this entire time waiting for them to be terrible, like they were last episode.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't do it, but they've shown the capacity to do it. And so I was like apprehensive, but I did only probably laugh once. So that's not great.
Yeah, that's about, I don't even remember laughing once. So,
it was so, and that was very early on in the, it might have just been when the sheriff is going to the peasants to tax the peasants and having to talk because Prince John's going to screw it up if he talks. The peasants push back that they don't trust him, which is pretty funny. Stuff. But also this episode, like, the show's never really established Robin's status as a wanted man. Like, ostensibly, he should be arrested on sight or something. Also, that he and Maid Marian, their love affair is secret. Here, he's more like, I don't know, Batman, and he can never prove that the sheriff and the prince are behind something. There's always just enough reasonable doubt. and so they have a coexistence. And he'll canoodle with Maid Marian in front of everyone at one point, and it's just like, so this is established that they're rubbing noses.
Yeah, there's not really a clear line with that, like
No.
consistency with that.
And I mean, maybe it's 1975 and we're not expecting, you know, Robin Hood television to have much of a what canon. We don't need to think about it in terms of the vermicitude of the Robin Hood series. And honestly, if this were just a cartoon with the Disney characters, it'd probably be great. Like,
Yeah.
but
If this was aimed for kids, absolutely.
yeah,
Instead of just some generic adult TV show. I don't know. It's like it's not quite bawdy enough to be. It's not like Python. Like Maid
no,
Marian's a ditz, but she's not Carol Cleveland, like literally showing off her tits and running around.
no,
But yeah, it just doesn't. There's no teeth to it as an adult show,
yeah.
really. There's no satire. There's no. I don't know. There's just nothing really there.
And we're losing even the previous bite, the sort of Mel Brooks bite we had. We're resorting to like stock footage inserts for punchlines, which is pretty bad.
And Richard Dimitri wasn't even that good in this. Like,
no, he wasn't.
He was sort of fairly consistently good. And this, he wasn't bad. It was just.
But he didn't stand out at all. And also, I think some of that is because we got more Ronaldo than Bertram.
Oh, yeah. And that wasn't very good.
It wasn't very good, but I also spent the entire episode also wondering if it's not very good and racist, or if it's just not very good. So, for context, Richard Dimitri is playing one of his roles as a Puerto Rican, modern day 1975 Puerto Rican in the Sherwood Forest, teamed up with these guys. All of his contextual jokes refer to the modern day.
Yeah. New York City.
Yes, it is.
I feel like he cut back on the accent just a little bit from the first episode. Episode,
it's still not
great.
So that suggests that it is just him doing a thing. He's just doing a Hank Azaria, and well,
Hank Azaria apologized.
Yes, Hank Azaria apologized after spending 5 years saying there was nothing wrong with it, just like the rest of all those guys who are really not great white guys, as it turns out. But that might be an oxymoron or something. So then they agree to bring Robin. We see more merry men than we ever have before, but only from behind, which was interesting. They weren't even willing to show their faces on screen. It was funny. We were back on the sort of soundstage, the Merry Men's campground soundstage. They go to the castle. They're gonna watch the gold. They count the gold.
Richard Dimitri doesn't want to go. Reynaldo doesn't want to go with Robin Hood because he's afraid for his life.
He thinks it's a trap.
Which I wish that was important, like some kind of thing where Reynaldo is like somehow the most like intuitive person on the band of merry men and can like anticipate trouble and try to fix it or something, but that it's never going to come back.
No, nothing ever comes back.
Nothing
except for the bit where Prince John takes the sheriff aside and they talk in private in front of everyone. That comes back over and over again.
It was done better in Get Smart with the Cone of Silence.
I feel like we need that music. Anyway, so Robin, oh God, that's right. So it's not just that they're going to steal the gold, which is done by the sheriff has arranged this weird system to switch out the chest of gold
Yeah, I guess it like pulled into the wall or something. I don't remember
Well, they
exactly.
never actually they explain it, but it's like somebody then told them they weren't going to pay for this shot. But what actually happens? Okay, so I'll, I'll wait to give you the Perry Mason. But yes, so the chest slides out from under Robin while he's asleep on top of it. It's closed. I was just like, why don't you just open the chest and lay on the gold, you
Yeah.
fucking idiots? Um, Ronaldo's walking around and he's trying to keep himself awake and he's like sleep hallucinating, so he doesn't notice it. Does not matter that he didn't notice it. He will not have any better luck finding it
No.
because then Chess comes back. It's full of rocks, which we find out after they have trouble getting it back to the throne room to give it to the emissary to take to Austria, which we have to talk about because um, it this King Richard's supposed to be fighting the Crusades
Yeah, in Austria, where the
in
Crusades
Austria,
took place
but
famously.
but
Duh.
but I can't remember. Cannot remember my history. I'm pretty sure all these fucking royal white guys on the Crusades going off to literally, oh, I'm sorry, just try to kill every Muslim. Uh, so that's a thing that
The more
Europe
things
really
change, the more
supports.
things stay the same.
Right. But I'm pretty sure along the way they did do shit like kidnap each other just to fuck with you on the way because fuck you. Like you didn't, I want some money, Richard. Okay, so that might be historically accurate. Who knows? Um,
I doubt it.
I think I might be right. I think I actually might be right. I do know things, Emily. I do know
I
things.
my skepticism has nothing to do with your intelligence.
Sure.
I don't think that you're a dummy.
Okay.
I don't.
I know. It's fine. I think I'm right. I think
Oh,
I'm right, though. But anyway, doesn't
well,
matter. Write
doesn't
in,
matter.
folks. Write in to
Right
us.
in.
Okay. So the morning comes, the gold's gone, it's just rocks. They're gonna execute Robin and Ronaldo. Everybody's crying. Robin's like, dude, can I have I'm a fucking I'm Robin of Locksley, dude. I'm noble blood. I deserve to get to prove my innocence. And they're
Right.
like, shit, you're right. You are a white man amongst white men. You do get to try to prove your innocence. We then get them running around the castle trying to find the gold in a bunch of stupid places. They keep running into the sheriff who's dressed up in various outfits. Um
Or not. Sometimes he's just wearing his own outfit.
yeah, sometimes he just comes in and says, "Hey, did you find anything? I'm gonna fucking kill you." Then they don't find anything. They go to the throne room to be executed by archers, including a couple
Little people.
little people. I mean, that was kind of the kind of jokes I was expecting from this show, like at the worst.
So the joke that they do make at the expense of the little people
Is not that bad.
is not that bad. And it might be the funniest finger quote joke of the whole thing.
Yeah,
The joke is something like, why do they have those little guys? And it's in case we duck.
yeah. I mean,
So it's not really at their expense
no,
necessarily. It's not really
not
making fun of them. It's
right.
just a lower point of entry for those arrows, I guess.
Yes,
I don't know. It was maybe the funniest joke. I didn't really think anything else was funny.
yeah,
I didn't really think that was funny, but it was at least like, oh,
yeah.
that's an attempt at a joke.
Yeah, that's a joke. That's what those things are called. So Robin at the last minute is like, wait, can I say goodbye to everybody? And they're like, oh, fine, you're a white man. Of course you can. So he goes over. This is where he like kisses Maid Marian. He's like, what's up, honey? We're never gonna fuck again in front of everybody. And the sheriff's like, oh, he's always fucking that Maid Marian. So cool. He says goodbye to the men, says goodbye to Alan, shuts him up. Little John in this, I found him obnoxious in a way. Like his only big bit is feeling up Maid Marian when he gets a chance, which is
Yeah,
something
that was not
weird.
great.
Because he's like, Robin's gonna be dead, so I'm gonna fuck you, honey. Like, you're mine now. And it's just like, this is a little weird
Yep.
implication. Because women are property. as we learned last episode, the show is really explicit about that. Um, and then Robin goes over to say goodbye to the suit of armor, does a joke about a slot machine, and out comes all these coins because he found the gold. And what we forgot to tell you was the gold was in the emissary played by the guest star, who I recognize and Emily doesn't. It was in his initial bedroom, which was a shitty bedroom. And Robin actually, during his search, got the guy upgraded to a
Yeah.
better room. So what that means is they wanted a shot where there was one bedroom with Robin and Ronaldo in that one place, and then the other side was old boy on his bed, and they were going to do somehow have to do something, or in between would be the sheriff, and somehow they would have to
Oh.
do this big elaborate shot. I'm just making this up because this is how the fucking Rube Goldberg device works. But basically, the sheriff has got, well, because the implication is the chest is involved somehow. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
So really quickly, back to the suit of armor. I remembered the suit of armor bit and I just connected something. So there's a bit at the end where so all of these coins come falling out of the suit of armor. And there's a bit at the end where like and it's initiated by again Robin playing it like a slot machine somehow. He like opens a compartment and hits buttons and whatever. And then at the end, after all of the stuff comes out, like something else falls out of the sleeve. And it reminded me of Harpo Marx, which made me happy. It wasn't funny, but it made me happy that there was maybe a little reference to Harpo in there.
You were like, this is only, there's only 9 more episodes of this, and I can watch Harpo whenever I want.
I can watch Harpo whenever I want.
There you go. Okay. So, what else happens in this wonderful episode?
I think that's about it. Ron Rifkin is still playing kind of an idiot, but my biggest complaint was he was so obnoxious.
He was very obnoxious.
And I didn't think it was as good as it was when he was just sort of clueless and the sheriff was doing all of the like the misdeeds. But this was like a little power hungry child who was just like, no, I want to be the king. And I didn't find it as charming
No,
with
there's
him
no charm to it.
involved in the crime.
I'm with the, at this point, and we had talked about this earlier, is sort of the absurdity of seeing Ron Rifkin in this part.
Yeah.
Like having only
Again,
ever
I've
seen
never
him
seen him in anything like this.
playing like a dad, a corrupt lawyer dad, maybe a corrupt
Politician,
commissioner, corrupt politician, rapist politician, basically
a rapist cop,
a rapist cop.
dad.
The only thing that white men actually are. But because this is a period piece, he could play an idiot in the past with success. Ron Rifkin was too young to play Trump. So, yeah. Or, wow. Okay. So moving on. Not talking about the absolute stupidity of the people who occupy the 1%, which is hilarious if it weren't going to actually kill everyone very painfully.
Hey, they'll die too. Huh?
They will die too, and they will die stupidly. They will die drowning in shit in bunkers because we've learned there aren't any smart ones, basically. So cool. Isn't that just wonderful to have found out? It is. There was actually nothing. The system was just rolling downhill to hell, and there was no one in charge. It was just that we're human beings who like stories. So you just told a story about what, milestone on the way down we were passing.
I've always loved those kind of speculative fiction things where like nature reclaims the world after humanity is wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm like, that's how I'm staying
baller.
That's how I'm staying positive during the end of the world. Yeah.
It will be baller for them. And whatever. Like the smart cat people will do much better and they'll be cuter. And smart cockroaches would do better. They might do better now, objectively. And so, anyway, moving on to the end of the world, as is this show. It's not though. It's just not. It's fine. Like if this were on at an airport, if this were on at a motel in 1984 when I was 6 years old, I would have been like, I want to watch that show again, and then never seen it again. Like it's like something you watch on Nick at Night and
Yeah.
don't catch any more of.
Yeah.
And
And you're
it's
like,
not,
what was that show I watched? It was like
yeah, what was
Robin
it?
Hood, but
And everybody's like, there's no fucking show about Robin Hood, you fucking moron. We got to go watch, we got to go, celebrate Winnie Mandela getting elected president and watch that Sinbad movie where he plays
a
genie.
Secret Service. Oh,
These I'm talking about the Mandela effect
oh,
examples
gotcha.
here. Yeah,
Gotcha.
But so tried to make a smart joke so Emily would think I was smart. Everybody,
It turns out Emily's too dumb to get it.
how are the Berenstein Bears books spelled? It. No, you gotta cut that. Sorry.
I'm not cutting that.
Oh wow. Okay. Cool.
I'm not cutting anything. Talk more about how much you love Donald Trump. I can't believe you paid $400 for those shoes. I can't believe it.
It's gonna win over the black voters.
I've paid
They
$400
said
for
that.
shoes
They said that
before.
on Fox News. Also, Fox News is really upset that when you type into the AI image search, that turns out to be super problematic and racist. But Google's one that if you put in like doctors, sometimes it would give you pictures of black people as doctors. And they were like, we ran the statistics on this, and there are not this many black doctors. This is
They're
not
fact checkers.
realistic.
Wow.
This is not realistic, Google. How dare you? It's a woman. It's a black woman astronaut. How dare you, Google? That was their take. But anyway, cool. 2024 is going great, everyone. That isn't there an end bit? Yes, there's an end bit when they get a telegram from Richard in the
yeah.
forest set. Is Maid Marian there?
Yes.
She shouldn't be, but she is
But
because
she
she's a
is.
fucking known outlaw. And King Richard's really happy about it. And
Alan, this is Alan's time to shine where he reads it out loud, but it's like
he
a
reads it out
singing,
loud.
it's a singing
Yes.
telegram. Yeah. So
And
he
then,
sings it, which is cute and funny.
but they'd all left instead of listening to the entire message. And he's like,
Yeah.
oh, you guys.
They didn't
fade
find it as
out.
cute as I did. I like him.
No.
He's my favorite character.
But yeah. Do you have next week's pulled up?
Yeah, I do. Next week's episode, we went through this one really quickly, folks. It was not great, but hopefully next week's will be better. It's called The Ultimate Weapon. It's Robin and his men must stop mad inventor Otto Bahn. Do you get it? Otto Bahn. Okay. From
You know
building
what? Otto Man.
Oh.
What was his last name? Was it Man? That his secret agent name? Otto Man?
I don't remember.
I don't either. Continue.
Anyway, Robin and his men must stop mad inventor Otto Bahn from building the ultimate weapon for Prince John and the sheriff that would destroy Sherwood Forest. It looks like there is a guest star. Let's see if I can find out who it is. John Byner, Byner.
Nope.
He looks a little bit like Red Buttons. A little bit. A little bit. Maybe it'll be better. Who knows? You know what? It's 22 minutes. I can handle 22 minutes.
It's 22 minutes.
Mwah. It's beautiful.
We could just become a Doctor Who podcast when that starts.
Well, we'd have to start from the beginning.
We'd start with the new Doctor. Wow. Why are you giving me the look that you actually want to do a Doctor Who podcast starting from the beginning?
I don't.
Okay, sure you don't. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, this is awkward. Oh, this is so awkward. Oh my God. The face, the micro expressions I'm getting right now, folks. It's incredible.
Micro? I think I'm playing it pretty big.
Yeah, just a bit. Oh my God. On the plus side, I would get to mock you about Matt Smith being sexy for years of episodes. Years of episodes. Okay, folks,
Ugh.
vote on this. Do we go Doctor Who?
Go on to twitter.com /
We don't have a Twitter for the
onesies.
podcast.
Onesies pod and vote on twitter.com.
Sure. Wow. Do you want to go back to the start?
Yes.
Oh my God.
We would have
Wow.
podcast for life.
We would. Wow. Okay. Wow. I had no idea this was your ultimate secret.
I've got so many secrets. So many. Let's wrap this up though.
Yeah,
Thank you all for
us.
listening. We will see you next time when we discuss episode 6. Oh my gosh, we're so close to being done. Episode 6 of When Things Were Rotten, called The Ultimate Weapon. Andrew, I'll see you in television land.
See you in television land.
Things were bad and that ain't good. Then came Robin Hood. Ba-ba. Soon a band of merry men he gotten. They wore outfits made of plain green cotton. Helping victims was their business. Boy, oh boy, was business good. Good for Robin Hood. They laughed, they loved, they fought, they drank. They jumped a lot of fences. They robbed the rich, get you the poor. Except what they kept for expenses. So when other legends are forgotten, we'll remember back when things were rotten. Yay for Robin Hood! They laughed, they loved, they fought, they drank. They jumped a lot of fences. They robbed the rich, gave to the poor. Except what they kept for expenses. So when other legends are forgotten, we'll remember back when things were rotten.